Oh, hello there. Zara Highhill here. Thanks for tuning in to the Dragon Between podcast, a 5th edition D&D story based on Keith Baker's steampunk land of Eberron. We release a new episode every week, so be sure to follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and wherever fine podcasts are made. Now, let's begin the adventure, but remember, sometimes the greatest adventures are the secrets that we keep within.
When the characters last met, high above the streets of Sharn, within the cliffside district, they found themselves once again reunited with their noble friend Renaer Irdimel. After conversation and realization that they now possessed the Stone of Galore, the characters descended back to the streets of Sharn's Welcome and followed Renaer into the watch station to investigate the bodies of the victims. The group then observed a cleric of the Silver Flame perform the Speak with the Dead spell on 2 of the corpses consecutively, allowing them to ask the victims questions. The group confirmed what they had learned about the gnome Dalakar, and that his pursuers were sellswords working for an agent of the Serpentine Table called Erstal Floxen. The sellswords were operating out of Grailhun Manor while they searched for the artifact for the nobles. The party then realized that their rogue friend had quietly slipped away, and after exiting the watch station, the characters found Nicholas in a daze, wandering the streets of Cliffside. Their companion revealed that he no longer carried the Stone of Galore, but instead possessed a hastily drawn map of the Greyflood district stashed in his pack. The characters deciphered that the name Garloth was scrawled across the parchment in Nicholas's handwriting, and learned of the wizard's significance from Byron. The party then made a haste to run down to the neighborhood called Mistshore, located near the docks. Once there, the group observed a group of bandits led by a dwarf attempting to gain entry to a shack near the water. The bandits appeared to recognize the party and attacked. The battle was fierce, and amphibious creatures attacked them from the harbor, with bandits raining down crossbolt fire from above. The group were victorious and found themselves face to face with Grinda Garloth, the inhabitant of the shack. The old crone informed the party that she had sent her rat familiar to her family mausoleum in the City of the Dead to hide the stone from a beholder called Zesh. Garloth gave the group the key to the crypt, as well as the location of the mausoleum, and bade them all farewell. The characters then returned to Trollskull Manor and discovered the trio, agents of the Sea Maiden's Fair, waiting for them. The 3 drow gunslingers then demanded the Stone of Galore and informed the party that they had until sunset tomorrow to deliver the artifact. The trio then exited the tap room, and the group tended to their wounds, making preparations for the hunt tomorrow.
So what time do we plan to take off in the morning?
At sunrise.
All right, I'll see you then.
Alright, sounds good. I guess I'll sleep myself.
Yep, alright guys, good night.
Zara puts away her herbalism books and goes back up to the room. And, is Nick there? Nick? Hello?
Nick's asleep.
Oh, alright. So I just kind of crawl into bed right next to Nick and I fall asleep.
So you guys are going to sleep? Taking your long rest? As you're all... Several hours pass by, and you all take care of the various tasks that you've set about to do, sending messages to whoever you need to, and gathering supplies. And you all settle into the manor proper upstairs, above the tap room. And there is an incessant knocking coming from the door, leading up from the stairs behind the manor's second floor. And I need you all to roll a perception check.
Zara and Nick are out cold.
So from within the manor, Siegfried and Brunhild, you both heard a sound of knocking coming, echoing throughout the manor.
Who is it at this hour interrupting my sleep? He gets up and scratches his butt and heads to the door, kind of looking around how creepy the silent manor is before reaching the door and shouting, "Who is it?"
It's Barnabas. Open up.
But all right, he opens the door. What can I help you with at this?
As soon as you open the door, you see that Barnabas is not alone. There's a man with a beard and spectacles standing next to him, and down the stairs within the alley, you see several guards. Siegfried, it's good to see you that you're all right. How are you holding up?
Oh, I was asleep. Other than that, people were roughing me up. Really fine though. Want me to go get the other?
Oh, if you could just summon Zara, that would be wonderful.
All right. Wait here. I'll go get him. Give me a moment. Sorry, just woke up.
Do you close the door behind you? Or do you invite him
Yeah.
in?
I'll close the door. He's not thinking right now. He's just half asleep. He's just kind of going through it.
Okay. As you begin to close the door, the other man puts a hand up and sticks his foot in the door and stops it from closing, and then pushes the door open, and begins looking around the meeting chamber as you walk away. He doesn't step into the room though.
Siegfried just does a curt glance, shrugs, and just continues on, just not really caring. He'll go to Zara Nick's room and kind of like knock obnoxiously loud, like, "Zara! Barnabas is here to see you." Like, not making a scene, but loud enough that someone nearby would also hear it.
Well, if that's the case, I would need everyone to roll a perception check.
Zara, they woke me up and...
Okay. Zito, you heard all the way up at the very top floor of the manor someone yelling. Sounded like Siegfried. Zara, you definitely heard, as well as Nicholas.
Oh, man. That was nice sleep. Nick, are you...
Yeah? Siegfried, who's at the door?
Barnabas, he wants to see Zara for some reason. I just want to sleep.
Well, Nick, this is the part when they take me away. I mean, what else am I supposed to do?
Whoa, wait. Why would they want to take...
What do you think, Nick?
He just said it was his Barnabas.
Well, there's more people. There's guards, some nerdy guy. I'm just gonna get Samael because I'm not a hitty person. You two seem to have something going on. I don't necessarily really incredibly love you, Nick, but I like you, and I know if something goes down with Zara, you're good feelings. So I'm gonna go to Samael's room. Don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, let's just go get Samael. Nick, is there any way around this? Your knowledge of the law
Well, I mean, I'm so stupid. I should have known this. Being married to an inquisitor.
Hey, I want to use the ring. Byron.
Yeah.
Where are you?
In my room. Where do you need me?
If you can come over here for a second.
What's going
Peek
on?
over here. There's Barnabas and Crowns the guard are outside. I have a plan.
Oh.
And
Well,
what
they-
is this plan?
Just get over here, Byron.
Well, they'll talk. Siegfried will walk into Samael's room, up to his bed, and just grab on the side of Samael's armor. Samael! People here, drama, stupid, Barnabas, Zara.
I was about to accuse you of drinking, but all that sounds about right. Hold on, let me get up.
Hey, I'm sorry, I'm just really tired. Every time I've tried to sleep lately, something has woken me up. I haven't just woke up, be it an explosion or people banging on the door.
Siegfried, go down there and stall them as long as you can. Let me go over there and talk with them.
Oh, well, I know Zara and Nick are up. I got up first. I'll go down and talk.
Yeah, just tell them that she's on the way. Don't make it appear like you're stalling. Just say she's on the way. She's getting dressed.
Yeah, that's what I thought anyways. I'm gonna walk back down to the open door.
Okay. Both
Hey,
Barnabas and the gentleman with the spectacles are standing there.
Hey, oh, sorry, Zara's getting ready. As you know, women can't just come down willy-nilly. Their bedclothes isn't proper women crap. I don't understand. And he just, like, scratches his butt.
Well,
So,
do you mind?
anyway, how you guys?
Do you mind if we both wait inside?
I mean, you didn't mind letting me shut the door, so I guess you could have a seat at the table. We got these magic refilling mugs that fill with whatever you want if you want some tea or something.
And Barnabas looks at you, Siegfried, and he just kind of looks at you and smirks, and he says, well, very well then. Come on, Seth, come on in. And Barnabas steps inside, and Seth turns around and closes the door behind him. And he looks out the window into the alley outside, scans the room, and then sits down next to Barnabas at the table.
I don't really know what's going on, and I'm like half asleep, but would you mind explaining what's going on for me, please?
Oh, we just need to have a conversation with Zara.
You know, I'm half
we
asleep,
have-
not stupid. There's guards and the lead Inquisitor, big Inquisitor name. It usually means a bit more than talking that I know.
Seth, the gentleman that Barnabas referred to now, speaks up and says, "Oh, I'm sure she'll want to hear this. If you could run along and make sure that she makes it back here quickly. We'll want to get this over and done with as quickly as possible. We have things to do."
Siegfried looks at Seth. You, I don't know, nor do I like your tone with me, little one. Barnabas I am friends with, and he may joke around and pull my leg as he wants. You, however, are a guest inside of our home, and I beg you to remember that and use a bit more concern in your word choosings when you speak to me.
Make an intimidation check, Siegfried.
Nice.
The man's eyes sort of widen a bit, and his face flushes just slightly and around the cheeks, around the cheekbones. And he says, "Well, there's no need to get nasty. You don't even know why we're here." And Barnabas turns and looks at Seth and reaches out and pats his hand and it says, "Just calm down. Please, Siegfried, please, if you could just go make sure that she's on her way. As quickly as we can get this done and over with, we'll be gone and out of your hair."
He leans back in his chair. Right now, she's currently getting ready. It shouldn't be much longer. And he snaps his finger. Gel, what was the... I can't remember the ghost's name. I feel bad.
You mean Liv?
Lith, yes. Lith, if you're around, can you get these two a refillable mug to kind of set them at ease?
As you say that, there is a chiming noise somewhere. And over to one side of the chamber, there's a dumbwaiter elevator, which has been installed. And the doors pop open, and there's a ratcheting sound, the sound of gears turning, and a platform raises with two goblets.
Siegfried gets up and walks over and takes them and sets them in front of Barnabas and Seth. If you want to enjoy the drink, I'm right here. Sorry if I was a bit on edge. Every time I've tried to sleep, something, be it the explosion the other day or being woke up now, I just haven't had a complete sleep. My apologies. And he sits down and just rubs his temple. And then, Zara! Hurry up! I want to go back to bed.
Barnabas gleefully accepts the goblet, wondering and marveling as suddenly a liquid begins to manifest within the cup, and there's a sound of pouring as it fills up. And he says, "This is wonderful. I haven't seen something like this since my travels abroad."
Yeah, it's actually our personal use mugs for the house itself and not the tavern. It refills with whatever you want. It's actually really cool, though. We had a band broom held because she keeps trying to take him off premise, and giving a dwarf an infinite almost supply of anything is not the best idea.
Oh, I hear you. Seth, on the other hand, has not accepted one of the mugs. He is sitting back and he simply says, "I must decline. I am on duty."
Oh, well, it's not just alcohol. It can be tea, it can be juices, whatever you think it will fill.
And he looks at you with one raised eyebrow and he says, "Oh, really?" He reaches out and he grabs one of the goblets and looks at it. And it begins filling up with a liquid. And he looks at it and he sniffs it. And then he sets the goblet down next to him. "Did you say that your friend is coming?"
Yes, she was waking up to change when I knocked on the door. I wasn't really quiet about it. I kind of was just rapping on the door and yelling, "Hey, get out here."
"Well, would you be a dear and go fetch her?"
What did I say with how to talk to me in the home? I'll let it slide, but please try to revigorate your manners as I do so. And he gets up and walks off to Zara's room again. Zara, this Seth kid is pissing me off.
So, what is our plan, guys?
I mean, they said it was Barnabas. I mean, Barnabas was the one who got us out of there. And it's not like I can hide forever.
Do we want to go down there and talk to him, or do we want to sneak you out? Because I'm pretty sure I can get Byron to get you out of here while I go create a scene.
I know, but considering all the trouble already in, I don't think it's worth it. I mean,
Well,
Barnabas
call.
seems to be a friend. It's 50-50, but if I can, I'd rather do this legally. Like I said, I think we have enough targets on our head already.
If that's the case, then we should hurry along because it seems like we're plotting right now.
Siegfried enters his room. Guys, can we just go out there? The Seth kids ticking me off. They try to make it seem like something positive they're here for, but I don't know, but it will turn very negative if I have to deal with one more moment with that Seth kid.
Let's all go down there at once.
Alright, and she grabs a robe and kind of ties it around her.
Siegfried
Alright.
will make a lot of noise so it doesn't sound suspicious that a lot of people are coming, just like to make it seem like he's woken up everyone in the house at this point, but going, "Ah, I want to sleep!"
Zara heads down the stairs first. Hello, Barnabas.
Mazar,
Once we get down,
are you well?
go ahead.
I guess so.
Why don't you have a seat right here next to me?
I'm gonna post up by the exit.
I appreciate you helping us out at the mansion. She kind of sits down and crosses her legs. So, what do you have for me?
Well, I'm not gonna lie, our original intentions tonight were to come and arrest you. And to take you back to the Citadel to be held for your trial. But circumstances have changed, and new information has arrived, and Lady Growlhund is currently being held for questioning. We've discovered evidence at Growlhund Manor that links her to sellswords working for the Bolramar clan. More specifically, Lady Growlhund is being investigated for the kidnapping of Renaer Irdimo. Apparently, there is evidence that proves that she was the one that ordered it. There is also a mountain of evidence linking her to this incident that killed 11 people. So, even though what you did was unfortunately grounds for a trial and potentially a death sentence for you, young lady, this situation with Growlhund is much more grave. And I have been instructed to speak to you personally now in the presence of Seth Cromley, the Sergeant of the Watch, to inform you that your crimes are no longer a problem for you.
And Zara just kind of puts her hands on her eyes and just rubs her eyes like, thank Dolahara, my prayers have been answered. You know, really, I'm a cleric. I am a healer. I have helped many injured and dying people. I don't assault people unless I have reason. And from what I heard, I'm so glad the truth was uncovered. She had many ties to many criminal activities and that had, endangered all our lives and killed many. That's why I did what I did, and looking back it looks terrible, but I did it for the right reason.
I understand. Seth, you wanted to ask her something? The man sitting next to Barnabas is a fairly thick, stocky fellow, and big bushy beard and spectacles. And he leans across the table, looks at you, and he says, "Is there anything that you want to tell me about the Bolramar clan? Anything that you have discovered? Clearly you've had interactions with agents from the Bolramar clan."
The Growlhund Manor, that's the group that it was linked to, correct?
Apparently there were sellswords that were holed up at Growlhund Manor, yes.
Well, I will fill you in, and my friends, if you have any other details to add that I might forget. We do seem to... There was an agent, correct? There was an agent that we found. There was a letter. We told you about that, Barnabas. They both had... The agent and Lady Growlhund had this letter V on a ring on the finger, which, did you find that on her?
No, we found no such thing on her. We found a teleportation circle upstairs, which Lady Growlhund swore she knew nothing about, that it belonged to the gentleman that she claimed had assaulted her manor. Of course, any idiot would know that there's no way that that's possible. A teleportation circle is a very intricate arcane spell concerning glyphs that it takes a very long time to set up and create.
Yes, and that is what I had garnered. Actually, I think we might have the rings. Let me see.
You would have one on you back in your room in your gear, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes. Actually, I had them in my gear. Nick, would you mind getting those for me?
No problem. I'll walk back into the room and get the rings.
Well, these were the rings that had this V on it. Have you seen the symbolism anywhere else but this V? I mean,
Seth
once Nick brings it down.
reaches over with a gloved hand and takes the rings from you and looks at them and says, "Well, sigil rings are a common item. I see that you yourself wear a sigil ring of some sort. Some are used for communication, some are used to store some type of spell in them, or some are used to activate things."
Has this V iconography come up in any of your investigations, or maybe in the Inquisitor ranks that you've noticed?
Seth looks at the ring, looks at the V, sort of turns it over in his hand in the light from the fireplace, and no, it's a letter V. It's no significance other than the fact that clearly it's important to someone, and you say that you found this in Grailhun Manor.
Yes, and also on the Bormar clan agent. One was on Lady Growlhund and one was on the agent.
Referring to the Warforged, the dead Warforged.
Yes.
Yes, we've already forwarded the body of the Warforged to the university. Morgrave University had taken some interest in it, and they're currently holding the body. If you don't mind, Miss Zara, I'll take these rings off of your hands. Take them into evidence. They may be of some use.
Yes, I don't mind. I have a question to ask, but it just... She looks down and then she looks up at them. I don't know if I can.
Go on.
As Inquisitors, you have sworn to protect justice. Correct.
Of course, we look after the king's interests. And we investigate and protect the citizens of Sharn, of course.
And in many ways, your code, tells you to sometimes deny yourself for the greater good. Right.
We hold ourselves to the code of Galifar, the code of justice. Sometimes we have to make concessions in order to get things done, yes.
And also that one Inquisitor should never hurt another.
He turns and looks at Barnabas and sort of has a little bit of a wry smile on his face, and he says, "I think that's a question that you'd want to ask Barnabas. I'm not an Inquisitor." Barnabas looks at Seth and looks back at you, Zara, and says, "Zara, why don't you just go ahead and ask me what you're trying to ask me? Whatever you're skating around."
Zara looks over at Nick and she's like, "Can I ask?"
I don't know what you're trying to ask.
You know what I'm trying to ask.
Not really.
Does the V ring any bell?
No.
Right. Mind wiping. Anyways, have you ever suspected that someone leading the Inquisitors might be abusing their power?
Someone within the King's Citadel abusing power?
Yes.
That's a very serious accusation, Zara.
I know, and that's why it's hard to ask.
I take it from your line of questioning that you have someone in mind?
Nick, can you pull out your badge?
You mean the badge that's off?
Yes, that one.
I'll pull it out. It's no good.
Nicholas, when you pull out your badge, do you look at it?
No, I just toss it to her.
Okay.
Zara reads it.
It reads, Nicholas Highhill, Senior Investigative Agent for the King's Citadel.
Oh my... Ah! Well, that's not going to really be a question then. Let's just say Nick's badge changes every day, twice a day, multiple times a day. Junior is Inquisitor intern. How in the world has this changed? Who has control of it?
Barnabas looks at Nicholas and back at you and says, well, it sounds like he's victim of a cruel prank. We had heard a while back that someone had been creating fakes of Inquisitor badges and passing them around, and the badges themselves would constantly change. We thought we had destroyed all of them. Seems like possibly you believe you might have one?
Yes, it seems like that.
Do you mind if I take a look at it?
No problem, take it. No good to me.
Barnabas takes it out of your hand, he looks at it and says, oh, yes, this is exactly the same type of cheap imitation leather that they use for the folding cover. He looks inside, and you see right here, the edges of the document, the paper, it's not the same color as the paper that we use for our official documentation. It's slightly off. Well,
I see.
What does this have to do with abuse of power, though, within the Citadel?
I don't know, it's so hard to say. Let's just say I know a person who I believe. I just don't know whether I can trust you, because it might be your boss.
Well, Zara, I'm sworn to uphold the law and the code of Galifar. And I'm also your husband's friend. I have been for many years. If you can't tell me, who can you tell?
If I may.
Yes, sir.
Well, the thing is Zara's not too sure because there's a lot of stuff we don't know. But in my line of work, I actually have a coworker who is rather skillful at disguises. And she may be abusing this power in one way or another. I'm not too sure on if she actually is who Zara's trying to accuse, but at least we know that she's impersonating someone of high importance. That is what I can 100% say, that someone is impersonating someone of a high rank in the Inquisitors.
Well, that is very serious.
I
And-
might as well just explain.
And you have
from the
evidence of
beginning,
this.
but-
Well, Barnabas, if I may have your word that anything I say does not leave this room in accordance to what relates to me.
And he turns and looks at Seth and he says, Seth, do you agree to this? Seth looks to each of you and he says, this is Inquisitor's business. I'll have no part of it. I've said my piece. I've asked my questions. I will leave with the guard. Good day. And he stands up from the table, pushes back the chair, begins heading towards the door. And Samael, do you let him leave?
He went AFK.
Man opens the door, and without another look at all of you, he exits the door and lets the door close behind him. Barnabas says, well, I'm here. I'm listening. Lay it on me.
I am part of House Polarin, part of the Circus of Shadows. I usually just keep an ear out for whatever happens. However, one of my coworkers, Agent Blackwater, was tasked by the Table of Serpentine to find out a few things, and it just so happens that she is a master of disguise. She kidnapped Nicholas as well as Zara and transformed into the High Inquisitor with a disguise, and put on a show while brainwashing Nicholas into forgetting what happened and replacing his memories. This is a problem because while she was doing that, she reviewed who she actually was, as well as her name and her history, to Zara. And then she's been using that to try to blackmail and pit us against each other, so we do her dirty work for her assignment.
Barnabas sits back in the chair and looks at you, Siegfried, and turns to you, Zara. And you have proof of what you're saying.
What? Brainwashed? Who was brainwashed?
Yeah, that's the thing.
I would be
And that's
very, very careful about what you say next. Either of you. The High Inquisitor has the ear of the King of Galifar. Or should I say, the King of Brayland. The High Inquisitor is in control of the city guard. It is a very prestigious position, and it is not taken lightly. Inquisitor Ventress has been with us now for over a year. Her previous successor was a hard man, but it was time for him to retire, and Ventress came along with skills of what we had never seen before. She cleaned up the streets. And now you're telling me that it is a possibility that she has been an agent of the Serpentine Table.
I wouldn't go as far to say the actual Ventress, but at least someone that's trying to disguise himself and use her name. I more so think Agent Blackwater is just trying to use this all to manipulate Nicholas. Not much is this actually the real High Inquisitor of Ventress.
And that's very possible. The other part of the story is Ventress and my husband Nicholas were in a relationship at one point, and due to different clans, different houses, they were not able to continue, and well, I did not know about this. When Ventress, if this is the same Ventress, became High Inquisitor, she seemed set to ruin us simply because, well, he's not with her. I have a feeling she might have wanted to, you know, become that High Inquisitor position, even just so she could rub it in our faces and torture us for it. She captured us. She mind-wiped us. She has been terrorizing us. Well, especially me for the past couple of weeks. I didn't really know who to turn to because I know she is in control of everything.
And Barnabas continues to look at you, his elbows up on the table, His fingers are bridged, and he strokes his chin. Is that all?
It's a short story. We used to have a sending stone from her that we destroyed because she was spying on us.
The moment that
No.
you say that, Barnabas suddenly, his eyes suddenly go wide. He snatches the badge off of the table and chucks it into the fireplace. And you all watch as this seemingly harmless book erupts in a blue flame. And the flame arcs out from the fireplace several inches and then sucks back into it. And the fire changes back to the normal amber, orange, and yellow glow.
Oh,
And
yes. Agent
Barnabas
Blackwater.
looks at all of you and he says, "How long have you been carrying that?"
Well, if I'm gonna be honest, I think Nick had it since I first ever known him. But it's possible when they were kidnapped that Agent Blackwater replaced it. She does, from what I've heard, have a habit of putting bugs on everything. And I didn't really piece that together. God, I'm stupid! And
Barnabas
he kind of like hits the table.
begins looking around the room, and he is going pale now. He's looking at all of you, and he says, he puts his fingers up to his lips, and he says, "Well, it was lovely to meet all of you again. It's always a pleasure talking to you. This is very, very interesting story that you've told me. Obviously, it must be completely and entirely a fabrication. Anyone who would... The High Inquisitor has many enemies, and of course they all seek to undermine the King's Citadel and the power that we share within the King's Citadel." And he continues to look at all of you, and his eyes are wide as he's speaking, and he's looking around the room, and he says, "Well, I must be off. I must be going. Nicholas, if you'd be so kind as to drop me a line, send me a letter tomorrow. In fact, I'll send you a letter later tomorrow sometime. You can expect a paper bird at some point in time tomorrow."
Ah, thank you, Barnabas.
Good evening to all of you. And he starts to step towards the door and kicks the chair with one of his feet and kind of jumps a little bit, turns and looks at all of you, and with a grim look on his face opens the door and heads outside and closes it behind him.
Sarah noticeably slunks back into her chair. And that was what I was afraid was going to happen. Shoot, I forgot about the badge!
Siegfried puts a hand on Zara's shoulder. "No, it's my fault. I forgot. If we suspected it was Blackwater, I should have known that she likes to have her bugs on everything. And I guess since Nick had it on him when Zito went looking for the stuff, he wouldn't have checked on Nicholas."
Hannigan is expected to be throughout our own home.
The sound of the crackling fireplace continues to pop every so often, and there's a bit of an acrid smell now in the air. An unfamiliar acrid smell. Smells a bit like burnt leather and something else. You can't quite place it.
Well, there goes my badge.
Nicholas, I don't think they're meant to do that. Do you at least believe us now that something was done to you?
I think you guys are all crazy. Didn't you hear Barnabas? He said, "Of course not."
Broomheld, can you slap Nicholas? Only because I'd find it amusing for the short dwarf woman to...
No, it's fine. Don't touch him.
Sure thing. I'm a backhand.
No, we're good.
Are you sure? And I'm like 2 inches from his face.
Yeah.
On a stool.
Zara, as you're looking at Brunhild 2 inches from his face on a stool, you notice something sticking out of her hair.
What's in your hair?
Brunhilde, do you reach up to check?
Sure.
As you reach up to check, your hand touches a bit of parchment, and as you pull it out of your hair, it flaps its wings a few times, and a paper bird dematerializes and turns into a parchment note, a message in your hand.
Of course I get birds in my hair.
Well, what's it say?
I will go ahead and put this into your inventory, Brunhilde.
I should have just shut up and not said anything. Ugh.
Doing nothing solves nothing.
There you
Brunhilde,
go.
Is that related to any of us, or is it just some nonchalant stuff that got stuck in your hair and intercepted?
Would you like me to read it to the party?
Yes.
So, Brunhilde, as you open the letter, you notice a very familiar sigil on it. The sigil of your former traveling companions, the Doom Raiders. And written in Dwarvish is a letter from your old friend, Istrid Horn. And it says, Brunhilde, I know that we parted on rough terms, but I still consider you a sister and a friend. The Doom Raiders are being hounded by the Inquisitor's office. Agents of the King's Citadel are rounding up anyone with connections to the Bolramar clan, and they have already arrested Davil Starsong, the leader of the Raiders. I'd like to know more about what happened to you at Graelyn Manor. I heard that you were there. If you can spare the time, I need you to meet me at Warden Tower in the City of the Dead at high sun tomorrow. I can pay you for your time. I promise I can pay you generously. Istrid Horn.
Well, sounds like we have plans for tomorrow.
In addition to the plans you already have.
You know, guys, and Zara's just kind of like rubbing her temple. I probably should visit my brother at some point.
Well, as is, what we have to do is we have to go to that old lady's family tomb in the City of the Dead, and we have to get the item back. Otherwise, we're fighting the gunslingers. And at high noon, she has that. If it's high noon and it doesn't take too long, right after we're done doing that, we can probably go see your brother. Or, if you want, we can... I don't see waking up extra early, because we really need to go to the City of the Dead first. And then I say bells before yours is only because it's already at City of the Dead.
That's fine, of course. Just maybe we can do it sometime tomorrow.
Directly after we're done with everything in the City of the Dead, we'll go see your brother.
Alright.
Anyone have any objections to that?
Nope, that sounds alright.
I have a feeling he would have some answers that we're looking for.
The answers I'm looking for right now is my pillow. Good night, everyone. As he just, like, kind of just lumbers back to his bedroom and falls back into his bed and passes out.
What about the rest of you? Are you all heading back to bed, or did you have something else you wanted to do tonight?
I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, I'm gonna go back to bed as well.
Samayo, could I just have another...
Same here. I can't do nothing if I'm dead tired.
Could I have a paper bird?
Yeah,
Thank you.
no problem.
And, I go ahead and scribble a a note on the paper bird that I had sent to you,
Okay.
Mr. DM, to my brother. And I let it go.
Fly, little birdie, fly.
Okay. So you write out your letter. You fold it up. Make the creases necessary to manifest the paper bird, and take it to the window and let it loose, and it flies off into the evening air. And does anyone else want to do anything?
I'm going to cast a good berry spell, and then I'm going to go rest.
Okay.
Oh, I'd like to take that Revivify spell out of the party sheet
Go for it.
that I just noticed is there.
All right.
I think Zito had the spell book.
Yes, Zito still has that spell book. He's had it for a week.
Well, it's in the party loot.
I believe he and Nicholas were trying to decipher spells from it.
Yes.
All right, I will mark you all as taking a long rest. So you all have your spell slots back. You're back up to full.
And Jeremy, I sent you a message on Discord also in relation to my inventory.
All right, let me take a look at that.
Oh yeah. When we wake up, I want to listen to what my Jizzle Mabob had reported.
Whoa, that's weird.
Just want to
There you go.
make it kindly.
Good thing I remember how much you have.
Yeah, it is.
That'd be embarrassing. Hey, I had this much. No, you didn't.
Guys, we've been robbed
By the DM.
by the dungeon.
Who's this dungeon master you guys keep talking about?
Right. So, Siegfried, in the confines of your room, you said you wish to listen to the message that's on your device?
Yes.
Okay. The recording is as such. Without going into, like, super detail, I will say that essentially it was a conversation between Dimble and Zord. And Zord asked Dimble, "What did you tell them?" And Dimble said, "I told them everything, of course." Zardoz says, "That was quite unwise. If you know what is good for your niece, you will not hinder our operations any further." And that was it.
Interesting. I'll be sure to tell everyone of that tomorrow. Slightly. And he kind of passes out onto his bed.
Alright. Mark, you said you wanted to add something? What do you mean, you want to buy something?
Yeah, if I'm able to find it in the morning.
Let's see. So you wanted to, like, make it as part... make it part of like the time that you spent at the manor? Like maybe you stepped out and looked for it, or you wanted to go look for it tomorrow?
I have plenty of time to look around for it.
Okay. I would say that something like that would be pretty easy to find. You just have to visit either a blacksmith for the grappling hook, or possibly even you could head to the Bent Nail, the smithy that's there in Troll Skull Alley, and pick up a grappling hook.
Okay.
The
How
Silken.
much would-
Sorry, hold on 1 second. You just want one?
Yeah, it's going to be fired from the crossbow.
Let's see. Well, something like that would be difficult to fire from your crossbow. You would have to, essentially, you'd have to work on, during your downtime, you'd have to either take it to someone to design something to attach your grappling hook to.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be something that you'd want to work with either an artificer or a blacksmith to try to create something for you.
All right. I'll do that on the next downtime.
Okay. But yeah,
It'd
something
make it much
like
easier to get up to the top of the ship when the guys were shooting at us.
true. Yeah, grappling hook. It's a shame you couldn't have kept the one that that Derek had, because that thing was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it'd be cool to have something like the Warforged, have that graphic built in.
Yeah, that was a fun little thing that Olaf got to use a few times. Wait, what are we talking about? Who is this Olaf character? Diddle-oo, diddle-oo, diddle-oo.
Out of the Warforged.
Or
Pigeons.
can they make one of those, and how much would it cost for not to be a crossbow bolt? What I could just
To get your hands on a dragon shard powered grappling gun, you would want to reach out to Derek's character's contact, Fixer.
that'd be fine. I'll be during downtime. I can do that.
Sure, I'm sure that you could work something out with Fixer. All right. So after a nice long rest, relaxation, after your very interesting, intense conversations in the evening, you find yourselves woken and refreshed, and making your way down to the tap room, or wherever you like to go to before you all group together and exit the manor for the day.
As everyone gets together, I'll tell them about the recording.
Okay. As you all begin waking up and gathering together your belongings and heading downstairs to the tap room, what are you all doing?
Like I said, I'm just gonna fill everyone in on the recording, and that's about all I'm gonna do. Maybe drink a cup of coffee.
Okay.
I'm drinking ale on a stool.
Of course you are.
I'll see Linda off to school.
Linda is no longer in Sharn. If you'll remember.
Right, she's on that expedition.
Correct. She went off on an expedition.
I'm just waiting to leave.
This
Okay.
is the second time Byron's forgot about that expedition.
He must really miss her.
Samael is standing next to the door with his pack in his hand.
Yeah, I'm ready to
Very
leave
good.
as well.
Somehow you just can't see me.
Well, Siegfried told everyone what he had to say, and now he's also like, alright, I'm ready to go. I had my coffee, I slept really well. Let's go!
Alright. I guess I'm ready. She grabs Nick's hand and looks at him. She's like, let's do this together.
Yeah, together.
It could be worse, Zara. You could be inside of a cell.
you know, that's one checklist off the list down. Thank you, Brunhild. All right, who's with me? She starts walking out the door with Nick.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Samael's out and before you.
All right. As you all head outside into the familiar sight of the courtyard in front of Troll Skull Alley and the alleyway proper leading off into the next alley over, you see the familiar sight of Mr. R, who has completely refurbished and immaculately, in a very short amount of time, his sky carriage. And he is currently brushing down his Pegasi. Oh, my friends! It's so lovely to see you all.
Siegfried runs over singing, "Oh, Mr. R, our hero in waiting."
Oh, Lord Siegfried, it's always good to hear those beautiful singing voice of yours, especially this early in the morning.
I'm so glad you're alright, seeing that you stood up for us like that. I'm just glad we got the carriage back. However, we have a request. We have to go back to the city of the dead.
Oh, that place. Well, I can take you there, that's no problem. When did you want to go?
We're ready now. We,
Now.
no rest for the wicked. We have a lot of stuff to get done still.
Well, I can get you there as quick as I can. I will attempt to fly as high as I can. Apparently, I received word this morning on news that apparently the fog has gotten worse, and they have banned air travel within the lower wards.
I will use dancing lights as we fly and sit next to you to try to help make sure that people at least see us, maybe shed a bit of light ahead of us.
Well, I'm sure that will be lovely. That would help immensely. Well, if you're all ready, we can climb aboard and we'll make our way.
Siegfried
get on.
hops in the passenger seat.
Is everybody aboard? I haven't heard a
Yes.
Yep.
whole lot from all of you. I've heard most of you.
Yep.
I get on board.
I'm aboard.
Ronald, did
I'm
you
doing what I'm always doing.
Did anyone wake Zito?
Zito?
I think Zito's dead.
As Zito climbs on board.
Oh.
Did Brunhild make her she left the takards back in the tavern?
No, it was really funny watching her try to go out the front door with it again, but she's ready.
I'm surprised she didn't get a regular tankard and try to take it out.
I just assumed that she did, and she's actually holding a tankard right now with her hand over it, keeping it from spilling.
Wouldn't y'all like to know?
So it's very early. I would say that it took you all about a half an hour, 35 minutes to all get ready, get your gear together, get something to eat, and assemble downstairs. So it is currently just after 6 a.m. and the sun is starting to filter through the clouds in the spring sky, and the cobblestones of the street are glowing. And in the distance, to the east, you see way above the tall walls and towers of the city, you can see a thick miasma of fog, which is creeping and rolling over the top. And you would all like to away to the city of the dead now?
Yes.
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 Zara's keeping a keen eye out for anything.
Okay. All right, all of you, hang on. This might be a little bit bumpy. Sassafras, ginger, away.
Woohoo! Back to the AB! He casts Siegfried casts dancing light, so there's light around it.
Hey, Nick.
Hey.
Did you notice the man shooting ignored your summons?
No, I guess you sent the note, right?
Yeah, son.
Yeah. He is busy.
If we don't hear from him the next day, we'll go over there and pay him a visit in person. We won't take no for an answer this time.
Yeah, I agree. I think he needs to hear this.
I'm hoping everything's okay with him.
Yeah, me too. He said he was investigating something at the college, some death, some more sigils from the mad realm, I think.
He's also supposed to be communicating with our druid friend about the end of the world.
Yeah, that's what I think he's doing at the college. Some sigils showed up again. They're investigating. Yeah, that's what I heard from one of his apprentices.
Alright, good. Well, let's just keep an eye out for him.
Yeah.
After about a half an hour flying up over the city and past the skyway, the glittering towers, golden streamers flowing in the wind, and you see the familiar sight of the cliff's edge of the City of the Dead. And of course the map that you received from Grenda Garloth indicates that you needed to go towards Halden's tomb, which is a bit further away from the edge of the cliff, which is also outside of your manifest zone. So unfortunately, the sky carriage will not be able to fly you directly to that part of the City of the Dead. At some point in time, as you're getting closer, further away from the edge, the sky carriage dips down, and sets down onto a wide cobblestone road.
Alright, let's go, guys.
I'm right behind you.
Hey, there you go. Hey, you stay safe, Mr. R. Alright, we don't need you getting banged up again, so we'll let you know when we're ready. We got your sendings.
Is it overcast down here, or is it...
The clouds, within the last half hour, light rain has begun. And as the sun is rising up in the sky, the light is like a golden shaft of light through the very thin bit of rain that is coming down from the clouds. The City of the Dead is illuminated, and as far as the eye can see, you can see crypt after headstone lining along this long cobblestone road with columns on either side of the road. You also see dotted in the landscape, you see much larger mausoleums and crypts off in the distance. You see bushes and tree cover, tall trees, shorter trees that look like they may have been planted recently by possibly folks that live within this area. You don't really see much in the way of individuals moving about City of the Dead. This early in the morning, you don't really see passerbys or folk from the city. And in answer to your question, ultimately, yes, it's fairly light in this area, with the shadows being cast underneath the tree cover.
Okay.
Now, do you all wish to ride the sky carriage on the ground to Halden's tomb? Or did you want to leave him at the edge of the cliff and hoof it?
Do we know exactly where it's at?
You know exactly where it's at. You know that it's not too far. It'll take you approximately a half an hour to get there.
Well, take the sky coat.
Are we all in agreement? You're taking the coach?
Yeah, let's hit this guy. Why not?
Okay. Discord is really not working well tonight, is it?
No, it's not.
Let me change some settings real quick. See if that helps. Okay. How's that? Is that a little bit better?
I'm
Yeah.
hearing good right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
there we go.
Yeah, for every once in a while the servers they crap on me. Okay. So you're all riding a fairly decent pace in the sky carriage on the ground. Sassafras and Ginger are flapping their wings, flicking rain off and over, and you continue on. And who would like to make a perception check for me?
Me.
Go for it. Okay. Siegfried, in the distance, you can see just beyond the copse of trees and bushes, beyond the headstones and the mausoleums, you start to see a flickering, ghostly blue light, sort of bamfing this way and that way. And the light coalesces into the form of what looks like a canine. And you watch as it trots a few feet, and then there is a brilliant flash of light, and it dematerializes, and you can see that suddenly it's several feet off in another direction.
Hey, so I know we've heard of interdimensional space hamsters, but is there anything like an interdimensional space dog? Because there's one over there that's like, it's really a blue color and it randomly disappears and reappears? Or am I just going insane?
Go ahead.
No idea. I mean, I've heard of, creatures teleporting and be able to phase in and out of existence. How far it can phase in and out.
Siegfried, you now start seeing more of those lights in the distance. And it looks like Fantasy Grounds decided to reset all the connections. Oh boy. Refresh. So Siegfried, you are now seeing more of those lights off in the distance as the carriage continues to trot along the long path.
There's more. Should we pull over? Are we being pulled over? Samael, keep going or smash.
Keep going.
All right, Mr. Ark, keep going. Don't worry about it. Byron, Nicholas, Zito, you have range. If they get closer, judgment call. Your judgment call. If you feel like you need to shoot, you shoot.
All right, I got you.
And Siegfried will cast Dancing Light and kind of push it out over there, trying to like see if it'll interact or do anything against the light.
Well, I think you already cast your Dancing Light spell. So
It's a cantrip. I can move it or recast if I need to. I just don't know how long it went because I think it needs recasted too.
Okay. All right. Nothing happens. Whatever they are, they don't seem to be interested in any of you at all. And after a while, you stop seeing them.
Okay, good. It was nothing. We didn't have to fight. We can relax, everyone. But stay on guard. Don't relax.
Okay. So after about half an hour goes by, and you find yourselves right near Halden's tomb. And the cobblestone pathway continues on. And there is a branching path off of the cobblestone road, which between the columns leads a bit northeast, off towards what looks to be a sort of a squarish shaped crypt or mausoleum.
Is this where we're supposed to be heading?
According to the map that was given to you by Grinda, this appears to be the place. And Mr. R looks at all of you and says, well, I can't follow you, but it looks like doesn't seem to be anything scary here. No ghosts. I'll wait for all of you here if you like.
Yes, after seeing that, I'd rather you wait here than try to go all the way back and then back again if we...
Oh, I'll be waiting for you all. I'm just gonna give the girls something to eat and possibly some water.
Thank you, Mr. R. We appreciate...
Well, I appreciate all of you. It's so lovely to be in the employ of wonderful people such as yourselves.
All right, well, how are we going? What's the plan?
Well, she said there wasn't any traps, so let's go in.
Hold on a moment.
Wherever
Okay,
we're looking
let's say
for is
there
looking
are
for
any traps. Do we have anyone that can detect traps, and would we not have them do it anyways?
Well, whoever we're looking for is looking for Brunhild, so I think that maybe Brunhild should go in first.
No, I believe this is just to get the artifact that we've been looking for. Then we're doing Brunhild stuff. Or am I confused?
This is to get the stuff.
Yeah, we're doing Brunhild after this. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
The lady literally said there's no trap. She just had her familiar drop it off here because she didn't want it.
Do we trust her?
I mean, we saved her life, and what other reason would she give us a map here for? Instead of just saying, I don't know, someone took it or dropped it somewhere.
I walk into the crypt.
Yeah, Byron's got the same idea. I wait for Samuel to walk in, and then I'll walk behind Samuel.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at? I'm a bard. I'm not a fighter, even though I like to stab things.
So, as you get closer to the crypt, you notice that the massive double doors are currently ajar.
However, there may be no traps, but other intruders. I can't say as much.
I'd rather find other intruders here than an empty crypt in no stone.
Exactly. Let's go.
All right, so you're all heading into the crypt, I take it?
Yes.
Okay. As you enter into the crypt, you see that it's a fairly large. Immediately within, you see that there are sarcophagi, 4 of them. 2 of them which are on raised daises up in the northwestern and northeastern section of the interior of the mausoleum, and there are 2 immediately to your left and right when you walk in that are on the lower level of the lower ground level. And then ahead of you is a 10-foot wide crumbling set of stairs that are heading down.
When I first go in, can I check to see for tracks? Apparently this hasn't been used up.
You can make an investigation check.
Be survival, correct?
No, that would be investigation. Or perception, I should say.
Nope.
Byron, looking around the room, the floor seems fairly clean for a place that is kept closed. At least in your mind, this floor seems strangely cleaner than what you would expect in a cemetery. Like potentially whoever owns this upkeeps this place quite well. There's no signs of dust on the marble floor. In fact, the only sign of anything that looked awry was the fact that the door was open when you were all given a key to go into the place.
All right. I'll just blend in the shadows.
Okay.
I'm going to as well hide.
All right. If you would all,
Go inside.
the two of you would be so kind as to roll stealth checks for me.
Byron and Nicholas, the Shadow Man.
Zara's going to be right behind Semi. And Brunhild.
Within the chamber, as you all watch, as Byron heads into the chamber properly, he phases out of existence for all of you. As you're looking into the room, he is just gone. And Nicholas as well, sidling up to the edges of the chamber. He also, you watch as quick as lightning, he is gone off into the corner, heading down the stairs. So, are all of you heading downstairs, or only some of you heading downstairs?
I'm headed down. Yeah.
I'll follow behind Samuel and whisper to Zara. It's like, is Byron and Nicholas, are they also interdimensional space hamsters in disguise?
Oh, that's another reason I like him.
So what is the current order, I guess I should say?
You have a map?
I will in a moment, as soon as you give me the order.
I'm behind Samael and Brunhild.
Okay.
I'll be on a...
Yeah.
Zito would be dead last.
Okay.
I'm keeping in close proximity, but in the shadows where they can't see me.
Okay. So it's Brunhild and Samael. Then Zara.
I'll be on one of the flanks, like 5 or 10 feet behind whoever's leading.
Okay. And then what about you, Nicholas?
Yeah, I'll be on the other side. Kind of whoever's leading a little bit behind them. Like kind of off and on the walls.
Like immediately behind one of them, like next to Zara, or like next to where Byron would be?
Where Byron is.
Okay, what about Siegfried? Are you dead last with Zito, or are you next to Zara?
I wanted to be in the middle next to Zara, because that's kind of where I should be.
Alright. Let me throw you guys on a map real quick. Love me a map. Alright, so everyone is heading downstairs, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright.
Yep.
I'm just realizing that Zito is not in the combat tracker. Whoopsie. Let's fix that.
Yeah, we forgot about him. He's too tiny.
I left him at home. I left him back at the carriage.
Who, Zeta?
Yeah.
Wait, you mean he's not riding on my shoulder?
Apparently not.
I would never leave him.
Nobody puts Zito in a corner.
No.
Alright, let me just add you guys to as you're heading down the stairs, the 10-foot wide, the stairs lead into a 10-foot wide, long chamber with a looks to be a cut stone floor. And you can see as you walk in immediately to your left and to your right, up ahead of you, you see more caskets. And then along that, you see more alcoves at the end. There's more caskets. And it looks like it turns around to the right. Like the 10-foot wide hallway continues on. Samael and Brunhild looking straight ahead. There is no light in this chamber. It is pitch black.
Did you share the map or not?
Not yet.
Okay.
I was continuing. After I started putting you guys on the map, I realized, oh, I can just use this little icon, handy dandy icon. That doesn't work. Whoops. Alright.
How wide is the hallway that we're...
It is 10 feet wide.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna share this map with you guys. And there we go. Should be popping up for you guys now.
Random maps. Bad for my heart. Break me off a piece of that catacomb.
Gotta love catacombs. So again, you within here, you can see that the floors, even though you're now several feet down below the ground, this cut stone floor, other than the sarcophagi themselves, which there tend to be a bit of cobweb here and there, it seems like mostly the floors appear to be fairly clean, like someone potentially cleans this meticulously.
Since this is another floor, can I check for tracks?
Sure you can. You know, I'm thinking about it. I maybe checking for tracks. I'm not really too sure how that works exactly. I just assume that that's a perception or investigation looking for something like that. But maybe you're right. Maybe it is survival for something like that.
Usually I'd say survival or nature, strictly because in nature you'd be looking for tracks to hunt game.
Right. Well, in any case...
It says a ranger can use a survival ability to track.
Okay. Well, yeah, in that case, yeah, you totally could. But, I mean, it doesn't really matter because you rolled so high on your perception, you see everything.
It's the same bonus.
Oh, okay.
They're both wisdom.
Gotcha. So, Byron, you see, as your friends are moving up through the hall, you can see where it looks like there are bits of dirt on the ground.
Hey, be right back a moment. Sorry, guys.
There are bits of dirt on the ground from outside, it looks to you, and the impression of what looks like feet, or boot prints, if you will. And it looks like it heads off into the distance. And Samael, you're heading up towards the front of the chamber?
Yes.
Okay. And as you get towards the end of the chamber, Samael, you see that the 10-foot wide chamber continues on. And there's where the rough-hewn walls, or the carefully cut walls are, you see more alcoves. And then another area, which seems to be almost like an addition, which was added on the end. And the walls are not quite as nice. They're not quite as nicely hewn.
Okay.
And ahead of you, you see... I'll tell you what, make a perception check.
I sent you a description of tracking.
Okay. Nice. Okay, well, in that case, from your tracking, you would know that there were a few individuals. They seem to be of a medium size, and it seems like that potentially they have been gone for a while, at least a few hours.
The tracks come in and out.
Correct. It looks like the tracks went in and then went out. What's interesting to you, though, is that it appeared as though the tracks were less on the way out. And you noticed that as you were looking. Samael, as you were heading down the path, you didn't notice that ahead of you, until it was too late, there appeared to be a slowly undulating form of a body which was suspended in the air immediately towards you. And the reason why you didn't notice because you were too busy walking directly into a gelatinous cube.
Nice.
Roll for initiative.
Dun, dun, dun.
And I will go ahead and move you guys around in the chamber. No more movement, guys, unless you indicated it before I said it. You should be rolling initiative.
Zito is busy from the coffins.
Okay. Gelatinous cube is going to take its surprise round on you, Samael. It moves into your space.
I like the sound effects.
Alright, make a dexterity saving throw, Samael. Okay. You may choose to be whichever direction you'd like to be on either side of the creature.
To the left.
Okay, I'll move you to the left. So the creature attempted to engulf you, but it did not.
Okay.
And that was its surprise round. And it is Byron's turn. Byron, you turned around the corner as you were inspecting the tracks and turned and looked and watched as Samael backs away from something. And you can see this shimmering wall of gelatinous curtain of something with something suspended within it. And it seems to be undulating and pushing towards Samael.
Alright. I'll go ahead and fire at it.
Okay.
I'll do my Dread Amp first.
Go for it.
And can it see me or not?
Let's see.
Or sense me?
Yes, it can. because gelatinous cubes have blind sight.
What range?
60 feet.
Damn. All right.
So it knows exactly where you are.
Byron, as you knock an arrow and pull it back, let it fly, it bounces off of the wall just a few inches away from the edge of this disgusting, undulating, transparent curtain of ooze.
All right. I'll take a bonus action. Drop Hunter's Mark on it. I'll fire on my normal attack.
And that is a hit. Knock another arrow back. This time the arrow bolt sinks several inches into the front of the cover of this disgusting undulating mass.
And I'll go there.
As you back up into this tiny little alcove, Zara, it is your turn.
On top of the coffin.
On top of the coffin. Zara, you see that Samael has disappeared around a corner, and you just watched Byron, or I should say you didn't watch, you heard the sound of Byron's bow firing.
Alright, I'm going to make my way up right here. Right to the corner, so I can
Okay.
kind of peek and see what I can see.
Okay, as you look around the corner, you can see an undulating mass of gelatin which is filling the entire chamber. It fills from ceiling to floor, this massive wall of transparent mass with this body suspended within it, and it is right next to Samael.
Alright, I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon. I'm going to say, Dullahara, please, let's fight. Let's... Me. And I'm going to attack.
Okay, where would you like your spiritual weapon to go?
And that's a natural 20. I'm going to put it, like, right next to Samael.
Alright. There you go. That is your...
Gosh.
You watch as this...
And then I'm going to notch an arrow in my crossbow and try to hit it again.
Okay, so you weren't armed with your halberd?
I was armed with my halberd, so
Are
I
you-
would have to switch. Yes.
Okay, so you're gonna drop your halberd on the floor? Is it
Uh,
that's what is the requirement to draw your crossbow and fire it? You'd have to drop your halberd on the floor.
Sure, I'm gonna drop it like right behind me
Okay.
and get up my
Okay.
and shoot away.
That is also a hit.
That's a 17. Woohoo.
Okay.
And that's the end of that.
There is a sickening, slurping sound, and Zito and Brunhild make dexterity saving throws. Oh shit. Siegfried and
Yeah, that's
Nicholas, you just watch as there's this strange sucking noise, and there's earth begins falling in a rain above you, and a giant 10-foot tall cube mass lands directly on top of Zito and Brunhild.
Know why the floors are clean.
And they are both
Yep.
suspended within this gelatin mass.
And it's making a crunch.
Are we unable to do anything while inside of this thing?
Yeah, you can die. Hold on 1 second as I try to kill you.
Appreciate all that love right there.
Alright, let's see. Brunhilde, you take 12 acid damage, and you are engulfed. You are restrained. You cannot breathe. And you will be taking 6d6 acid damage at the start of the cube's next turn. Unless you can get out of it. And
Do me, Jeremy.
I'm doing you now, Zito. Zito, you take... Take 6 acid damage. And you are also restrained, suffocating, and you will also be taking 6d6 acid damage at the start of the cube's next turn. Okay. And that's the end of the cube's turn. And Brunhilde, it's your turn. You are currently suffocating to death. And burning alive. You can attempt to get out of this. So you can try to make an escape action by making a strength check.
A check or a save?
It is a strength check.
Well, I'm gonna do that. No one likes suffocating.
Your eyes are burning. You can feel your flesh sizzling. Natural 20. Brunhilde, you are ejected from the cube. Which direction would you like to go? Would you like to go north or south? You can also go into the alcove just to the east of you or to the west.
I'm gonna go south.
Okay, so next to Siegfried. Alright. I will take that d6 off of you so that you are no longer affected by the continued effects of the translucent acidic jelly eating you. And that was your action. You still have movement.
I'll end my turn for now. I'm just happy I'm breathing.
Okay. In that case, Samael, it is your turn.
Alright. That's Hunter's Mark on the gelatinous cube too.
Okay. Brunhilde, you wanted to move back 5 feet? Or is that a no?
Alright, I hit it.
That is
And I'm
definitely a hit. And you bash the creature with your Keeper's Fang. You feel the wall, the surface of it sort of splat against you. And then it begins to slowly reform into this translucent, rippling wall.
Alright, and I'm going to use the rest of my movement to fall back.
Okay. It will make an opportunity attack against you.
That's fine.
Samuel, as you begin to step back from the creature, a long tendril of ooze emits from the surface of this translucent cube and attempts to swipe at you as you run away from it, but it does not connect.
That was not running away, that was a tactical
Tactical retreat. Gotcha.
Yes.
I've returned, everybody. Sorry, I had a quick important.
Okay. Zito is currently being eaten by a gelatinous cube, and Brunhild took some damage, and she's now standing next to you, next to the cube. I'm not sure why you're rolling initiative again, Siegfried.
On my sheet, I didn't have an initiative. It's just 0.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'll say that you had a held action. Would you like to go?
The gelatinous cube is right in front of me, right? With Zito.
Correct. Your friend is currently within it, and it looks like he is clutching at his throat. Slowly, his arms are slowly moving through this thick mass.
Oh, well, looks like my friend's in trouble. I am going to... Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. What can I do? I'm going to do... Thunderclap? No, I'm gonna stab at it with my rapier.
Okay, go for it.
Zito, I'll save you.
That's definitely a hit. You stab out with your rapier.
And since I have hit, I will use the bardic, my 1 bardic dice to do my flurry, and I'll use the one to push it back 5 plus 1d6, and it also takes an extra d6 of damage.
Okay. How does that work? Does it need to make a save?
This gets moved back as long as I hit it.
Okay. So it gets moved back a d6, how many feet?
Well, no, a d4, sorry. Wait, my bardic thing right now, let me check that real quick, so I'm not misdemeanor, because it's what my bardic is. Yes, it is a d6, so it takes an additional d6 of damage, and it gets moved back 5
feet?
5 plus that, so 7 feet back.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm just going to say it's there, because 7 feet's not really much in the ways of between 5 and 10.
Yeah, I was hoping I'd roll a bit higher on that.
That's okay. But I'll add that extra bit of damage. Was it 7 more damage to it?
It was 2 more damage on top of that 7, so
okay.
It should be 9.
9 damage total. Gotcha.
Every time I actually hit with it, I roll low numbers.
Okay. Well, in that case, if you don't have anything else that you'd like to do, or if you'd like to move, we'll say it's Nicholas's turn.
Nick, can I see it from where I'm at?
Yes, you can. You watched it drop directly onto Brunhild and onto Zito, and then you watched it repulse back several feet by Siegfried's attack.
I'm going to shoot a ray of frost at it.
Okay. That is a hit.
Nice.
That is a 20. And it does 1 point of damage. 1 point of damage. Hey, but you know, the good thing is that it only can move 10 feet. So, hey, I'm safe.
Would you like to roll a hero point for your damage?
You know...
No.
That's probably a good idea.
Can it really move more than 10 feet anyway?
I don't know, but I didn't want to find out because I'm right there.
Alright, so Ray of Frost, your 1 point, you spit out a snowball and toss it at the gelatinous cube. I was just kidding about the hero point. You can't actually add hero points to damage.
Oh, okay. So that's 1 point.
Okay. Hey, it's better than nothing. At least you hit. Would you like to do anything
Get
else?
participation prizes, Nick.
I was gonna step back, but you know, it only can move 10 feet, so I'm good. I'm good. Hey, and I protected my wife, so that's okay. I'm good. I'm good where I'm at. I'm gonna end my turn right there.
Okay. Zito, would you like to attempt to escape from this thing? Oh shit, Zito's dying.
2. But looks like I'm dying.
Actually, that's got to be wrong.
Yeah, it's at the start of its turn,
it's
right?
the start of each of the cubes' turn. Yep, that's wrong. Okay, hold on. You're not dead.
Back in the time continuum.
I have to go back and figure out how much damage you had on you.
Different multiverse.
I think I just took 6 damage from the initial attack, and that's the only damage I took after the long rest.
Yeah, you had 6 damage. Let me fix that.
Whatever you do, I would get out of that thing.
Okay, so you're not dead. That was not supposed to happen yet. So go ahead and attempt
not yet.
and attempt your strength check, and I would highly suggest that you use a hero point.
Is it strength athletics?
Nope, it is a straight strength check, not an athletics check. Okay. Zito, you are still within it. Would you like to use a hero point? Okay, you have to actually... Was that your roll, or did you just click the bonus?
I just clicked on the hero point.
Okay. You gotta actually roll it.
Well, I saw a dice throw out. It wasn't like just I saw it.
Oh, you did, that was a dice. Sorry, my eyes deceived me. So yes, you are out of it. Which way would you like to go? Would you like to go immediately to your left? Would you like to go backwards?
I like
Come
to
here,
go
Zito.
immediately
Here, Zito.
backwards.
Go immediately backwards. Okay.
Yeah.
You are all watched as, kicking and screaming, Zito pops out of the gelatinous cube, and you still have your movement.
Gonna go back behind Nicholas.
Okay. It's going
As long as
to
he's-
it's going to make an opportunity attack as you move behind Nicholas.
Alright, I'll take.
So let's see what it does. Zito, as you turn and look at the creature, an undulating tentacle not sure why that rolled with advantage.
Roll damage.
No, that wouldn't have hit you because you are no longer restrained. So you're fine. It did not connect. And you said you
You're
were
just really messing with me today, Jeremy.
sorry.
You've had some bad dreams.
Me too. I think he has a thing against short people today.
All this talk of murder has really got him bloodthirsty.
I mean, you know, what can I say?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn behind Nick.
Okay. By the way, Derek, you were wrong about the gelatinous cube's movement.
No, I'm saying the spell that I hit it with, it only can move 10 feet.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about the gelatinous cube's movement.
Good job, Nick.
Yeah, I can only move 5.
Actually, no, it can move 15.
Nice.
So I knocked it down by 5. I meant with the spell that I hit it with, and it reduces it to 10 feet.
So, on the positive
The damage
side,
is worth
it cannot use its engulf on you, Samael. So instead, it's going to attempt to attack you with its pseudopod.
I love it.
And it misses. So once again, this ropey, disgusting, semi-translucent thing swipes at you. And that ends its round.
Now,
Why must you cheat?
now Zara's seeing that. How long does that little pod thing look?
How long does what look?
Little pod thing that he just attacked Samael with look.
It looked like it reached out immediately in front of him, like it swiped immediately over his head and then back into itself.
So it looked like kind of short, kind of long.
It looked like your standard length for something trying to attack you from a melee distance.
Gotcha.
Byron, it is your turn. That is a hit.
Wow. Look at that modifier.
Well, I mean, the thing has like, you know, it's
Attack with a
gonna
bonus
take.
action.
Yep. You still have your hunter's mark on it, I believe.
I put it back.
Oh, okay.
You have to put it back every round.
Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. That is also a hit. So in quick succession, Byron, you plug it once and plug it again. And as you do, there is a horrible shrieking noise, and the gelatinous cube begins to evaporate and spread out on the ground dead, releasing the body that was floating within it. And does that complete your turn?
And I'll move to there.
Okay. Brunhild, it is your turn.
Awesome. Throw an axe at it, or in it, whichever happens first.
Are you going to throw an axe at it? That's a hit. You toss one of your hand axes, goes into the edge of the cube, and you watch as it is slowly being sucked into the cube.
Hey, Siegfried, you should do that metal thingy.
Siegfried starts shredding some sick metal on his guitar.
Zara, it is your turn.
Alright, I'm going to move just a little closer. Oh,
Okay.
not there, sorry.
Make a perception check, Zara.
Alright.
Okay. You see this undulating mass before you. And just beyond, you can see your friends. And a very worried-looking Nicholas waving his arms as if to tell you don't get any closer.
Right, I'm going to pick up my halberd and stab it.
Okay.
Oh, nope, I did not move that. I was right here.
Okay.
And here it goes. There we go.
That is definitely a hit. And with a mighty chop, You strike out with your halberd and slice into, cutting off a chunk of the creature that plops onto the ground and sizzles on the cut stone floor. And you watch as where you cut, the cube is attempting to reform.
I'm going to hit it again.
Well, that was weird. The dice just spun and spun and spun and spun. In quick succession, you swipe overhand chop and then sideways left to the right and cut into the creature once again.
And I believe I can move my spiritual weapon 20 feet, correct? So I'm just going to move it to there.
Okay. And Siegfried, is your turn.
So, as the lovely Brunhild said, I shall use heat metal on the axe inside of that gelatinous foul beast.
Go for it.
Yay!
And it succeeds.
So that just means it can spit out the axe if it's able to, but it still takes the damage and it doesn't get the disadvantage.
Okay. There is a brilliant flash from the blade of the axe. You can see it within the gelatinous creature heating up, and there's a sizzling and horrible acrid smell. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes, it is the end of my turn. Does it spit the axe?
You watch as the axe slides out to the side and over, out of the way, harmlessly. And you watch as it goes and it moves forward directly on top of all of you. And I need Nicholas, I need Siegfried, and I need Brunhild to make dexterity saving throws.
Hey, Jeremy, it can't move 15 feet.
Yes, it can.
Because of the cold. No,
Because
I hit it with the right front, and it can't. And that the spell makes it so that it only can move 10.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, well, how does that work? How long does that last? Is that something that
One
saves?
round.
It saves out of?
Just
Okay.
As,
Well, in that case,
it's 1d8 and it.
in that case, I only need Brunhild.
And its speed is reduced by 10 feet until the start of your next turn. So if it only moves,
Okay.
until its next turn, it only can go. It's reduced by 10 feet movement.
Okay.
It's reduced by 10 feet. 5 feet.
So it's reduced by 10 feet, not 5 feet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
well,
thought it was just.
oh,
It
in
only
that,
moved 10 feet, but it reduces it by 10.
okay. Well, in that case, neither Brunhild or Siegfried need to make those saves.
You're welcome, guys. The 1 point of damage is worth it.
Woohoo!
Good.
Anyways,
All right.
but
well,
thank you.
Well, in that case, that is the end of the gelatinous cube's turn. It can't use its well, I guess it could use its pseudopod. So we'll go ahead and strike at Siegfried with its pseudopod, attempt to hit him. And it hits him.
What?
Jeremy hasn't gotten any crits tonight.
I think Fantasy Grounds is broken, guys. Where's all my crits? So you'll watch and Siegfried howls in pain as this ropey, gelatinous arm emits from the side of the creature and slaps him. And Zito, it is your turn.
But duel!
I am going to cast Magic Missile on.
Okay.
And that will be my turn.
Okay. And believe Nicholas, it is your turn now. You just watch as Zito arcs out a magic missile between your legs and over Siegfried's head.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Barely missing the tender areas.
No, I'm gonna hit it again with the Ray of Frost.
Go for it. That's a hit.
Ooh, 21. Big numbers.
Yeah, 5.
It is reduced by 10 feet. Let's take a step.
Well, that would reset next round, so it's still only moving 5 feet.
And I'm going to end my.
Okay.
Watch the tail, Nick.
Samael, it is your turn. Samael comes rushing around the corner.
Well, not quite in it.
Are you sure?
I jump into the gelatinous cube.
Hey, that's one way to kill something. Kill it from the inside, like Drax.
Like Drax.
Yes.
I mean, he's got a dagger. All he needs is one more dagger, and he's Drax. It's time to go ask the Lich for another Kikurusang. That is a natural 1, unfortunately.
What did I attack the?
That is a good question. What did you attack?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Hold on one second.
Would you like... There you go. I'm not sure why Nicholas is rolling.
I rolled for my magic wand of missiles.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
Does that complete your turn?
That does complete my turn, yes.
Alright, it is Nicholas's turn, once again.
I'm gonna use the wand of magic missile.
Okay.
And I'm gonna spend 2 charges. That'll be 4.
So in quick succession, you all watch. You can see the chamber is lit up by the sparks from the wand, and chunks of this creature go flying off in different directions, and it dies.
Oh, man.
And you guys are out of initiative.
Glad that's over.
Ow.
I pull out of my pack cleansing. You can use this to clean yourself off and make yourself all proper.
I'm gonna check that body that fell to the floor up here.
Okay.
Oh.
I will as well.
The body seems to be that of... Let me turn off the sound of the gelatinous cube farting. Okay. So, the body itself is fairly wrecked. It looks like it's been mostly, from what you can tell, it looks like it's been mostly eaten. Like, most of what's left are like things that did not dissolve. What you do see is what appears to be a steel key. And it's a bit pitted, like it's been in the acid for a while, but it has a very distinct and familiar design on it.
Could you describe the design?
Yes, it appears to be the same spiral design that you all keep seeing over and over again.
I'll take that.
Okay, I'll put that in your inventory, Samael.
Thank you.
Zito's gonna check in the other cube.
The other cube was empty.
There was an axe.
The axe, Brunhild's axe, unless you want to take Brunhild's axe.
I'd like that back if it's not too high.
You also see what looks to be a dead rat. And at the end of the hall, where the gelatinous cube was, you see that there is a broken door, and the crypt within looks to be broken. Like whoever got in here wanted into whatever was in that crypt. And I will go ahead and award you guys some experience for that encounter.
I'm going to go ahead and give Nick MVP down the gelatinous cube.
Thank you.
I wouldn't have dodged if he didn't slow it down.
Let's just all do a round of applause.
With his one.
Okay.
It's clutch, man.
You each received 129 experience for that encounter.
So it's not here?
It looks like whatever was inside of the crypt, whatever remains were within the crypt, are gone now. It's empty. All you see are bits of scraps of what could have been potentially funeral wrappings, and some dust and a bit of decomposed bits here and there. But it seems like whatever was inside a body, bones, seems to have been taken. And of course, you see also the rat, which was flattened at the end, like something stomped on it. Looks like its neck
guys.
is broken.
You know what this means, right? After we go see Zara's brother, we need to go back to the inn and prepare to kill the trio.
Why would they even show up? They already got died.
I don't think it was them.
Why do you say that? Well, why do you not think it was them? We kind of told them where it was.
No, we didn't.
You said it was in the cliffside. I don't know. I just have a feeling it was. I don't think they were gonna give you. I mean, they're thieves. They're not gonna wait. I mean, they just lied to you. I know you're honorable, Samael, but I know they are not.
No. You didn't understand what I just said. We're going to go prepare to kill them. Let's go.
Well, before we talk about her brother and Brunhild's friends, remember they're around the area?
Yes.
I say we need to search here everywhere, though. Everyone, look in all the crypts. Look in every nook and cranny around here. Make sure it's not still here.
I ain't looting no.
Yeah, you look. I'm leaving.
I'm
getting tired. I'm getting tired of playing fetch. It's time to start killing people.
Zito's gonna take a look in here.
Zito, you're going to take a look in there?
And
make an investigation check, Zito.
I'm gonna sit down on the ground and prepare to cast Detect Magic as a ritual.
Zito, you find a candle. It's a very strange candle. and it's foul smelling.
Zudo will put the candle in his bag so you can take a better look at it later.
Okay, I will put it in your bag.
Is everyone else leaving?
I'm casting Detect Magic, which takes 10 minutes.
So you're going to take 10 minutes and cast it while you're down here in the catacombs?
Yeah. As a
Okay.
ritual.
And everyone else is going upstairs?
I'll stay with Nick.
Oh.
Siegfried's gonna declare coffin.
So Byron, you're
I'll
staying
just-
behind. Zara, you're staying behind. Siegfried,
Yes.
you're taking a nap.
I-
Zeta,
No, I'm taking a peek into this casket.
okay. It is sealed. And Samael and Brunhild, you're heading upstairs? Is that correct?
Well, if
Samael and Brunhild, are you both heading upstairs?
I would recommend we all
I'm
stay
heading
together.
outside to appreciate, air again.
Yeah, I'm going outside. I'm gonna start contemplating all the different ways I'm gonna kill everybody that asks us to do anything.
Okay. Give me one moment to share a map with you two. Oh no!
and if Nick's gonna,
Oh no! The
I'm
DM's
sorry.
sharing a map. Why would he share a map with only 2 of you?
Because we're under attack.
I'm just kidding. I'm gonna share it with everyone. You guys have already seen this map. All right. Here we go.
Seeing that the caskets are sealed, Siegfried just goes outside.
Okay. Well, before that happens,
if Nick's gonna-
Brunhild and Samael, as you walk upstairs into the crypt, you hear a very gruff voice, which says to you all, or it says to the 2 of you, "See, I told you. They must have it. Get them." Roll for initiative.
There's nothing better in this world. I'd rather. Favorite thing.
Okay.
Is that everyone roll or?
I would say that at the moment it should only be Brunhild and Samael. Unless
Sorry.
you want to roll a perception check to see if you heard that voice. Okay. Byron, you definitely heard it.
I think I just passively heard people provoking people.
Yeah, Siegfried, you also heard it. I would say that the only looking at everyone's passive, if you didn't want to roll, I would say that everyone heard it except for Nicholas. So everyone but Nicholas heard this very gruff voice.
Nick, I think.
So Byron, it's your turn.
All right, I'll.
All right, I'll move my 30 feet to there. Oh,
Okay.
sorry, round 1. I can move 40 feet. And
Okay.
then can I see anything from there?
Let's see. At the bottom of the stairs, you can see the back of Brunhild's head. And you can just barely see Samael
Right.
just beyond.
Alright, I'll go... Where's the... Alright, so I'll go up the stairs. I'll stay in the shadows.
Okay.
Nope, I can only single move of my shadow. Want me to roll?
Yep, go ahead.
That ends my turn.
Okay. On the Durgar's turn, it suddenly increases in size. And it's been a while since I've used this ability, so... yep, that's going to be its action. And then it goes and it strides forth. And the third Durgar is going to walk forward. And attempt to hit Brunhild. Whoops. I assume a 23 hits you, Brunhild, or does it not? I meant to target you. Yep, looks like that does hit you. So,
Yeah.
this disgusting gray-skinned dwarf strides forth and just sinks his war pick right into your shoulder. Another Durgar strides forth, and there's just this horrible noise of this grunting and stretching. And it also increases in size. And Samael, it is your turn. You just see these gray dwarves in front of you, challenging you with war picks. As you move away, you'll take a attack of opportunity.
That's fine.
Let's see. The enlarged dwarf attempts to strike at you with its war pick, and it misses. And as you arc your hand out with your Keeper's Fang in hand and attempt to stab at this diminutive-looking dwarf, you miss.
All right, now in my turn.
And Siegfried, is your turn.
Siegfried's turn. I will move I'll double move to get to the top of the stairs.
Okay. So, what's your movement normally?
30.
30 feet? Okay. Well, in that case... You're right there?
What is going on? Holy giant bearded dwarf!
You leave me out of this.
You're right, these are much cooler than you.
Okay. Durgar 1 is going to... I'll tell you what. Seeing this newcomer, he's going to run towards you, Siegfried. And you just watch as he pulls his war pick and attempts to stab you in the head with it. And he hits you. Manages to plant his war pick.
I've been seeing crits. I've been seeing a lot of hot.
Plants his war pick into your chest. On Gorath's turn, takes his war pick and attempts to strike out at Samael. And he critically hits Samael. My goodness, my first
That sounds...
Immune to crits.
That's right, he is immune to crits. That it automatically takes it off.
Don't worry, Jeremy. You'll crit somebody else.
I'll crit somebody someday. There we go. Partially resisted. You take 4 damage.
Woohoo.
Gorath now is going to sort of shift around you a little bit. And Brunhild, it's your turn.
Yay!
Zara and Zito, you may roll initiative if you like. Because you did hear this. And that's a hit, Brunhild.
I love when I get to hit things correctly the first time.
Arcing out with your maul in hand, you bash the enlarged Duragar in his side. Zito, would you like to take your action?
Yes, I would. I would dash towards the stairs. And that'll be my turn.
Alrighty.
I would add 10 more feet.
Alright. And Zara, are you getting in on this, or are you hanging back with Nicholas?
Oh, I'm going to... Let's see. Nick, I better go check on them. I'll be right back. I'm gonna move... and be like, what's going on? What's going on?
You see Zito and gathered at the bottom of the stairs. And above you, you can just see Siegfried, and you can see an enlarged Gracian creature attacking.
And how far away am I from the nearest creature that I can see?
Let's see. You're about 35, 40 feet away.
Alright.
one of the large ones. It's on the combat tracker. It would be Duragar number 2.
Alright, I'm going to use my action to go to right. And then I'm going to use my bonus action to, again, cast Spiritual Weapon. I don't know if I can target it from here, though.
Well, it took your full movement and action to get there, correct?
Right, so... Did I use my bonus action then?
No, you still have your bonus action.
Okay, so I can still cast Spiritual Weapon then.
Okay. So you're gonna cast it next to the big guy?
Yes.
Alright.
I don't think there's a way I can target it, but I guess I can.
Sure you can. If you click on you can still click on him on the other map and target him. Unfortunately, that is a miss. So that damage would not have gone on him.
No. Dang it, that's a miss. Alright. Try again. That's it.
Your spiritual weapon coalesces once again, flying up next to this giant dwarven creature, gray-skinned dwarf, and slashes against it, but just misses. And at this point, Nicholas, you'll be in the initiative on the next round.
Okay.
And I believe it is Byron's turn.
Alright, my 100 mark we're off, so... do a normal attack.
That is a miss, unfortunately. Drawing back on your arrow.
And I'll use a bonus action to do a second attack. Oh, does he see me, by the way?
He is completely occupied at the moment, so he does not see you.
This be the advantage on that first attack.
That is a natural 1.
Second.
And that is a hit. Knocking once more, one more arrow from your quiver, firing at the creature, sinking into its shoulder, and it just screeches in pain.
5 damage off that.
You said that it added 5 more damage?
No, I said take 5 damage off of his damage.
Oh, so minus 5?
Yeah, the 100 mark only works if you have another target they can move it over to, but they weren't here as initial target.
Okay. Alright, I reduced it by 5. And I believe it is Brunhild's turn. And unfortunately, that is a miss with your mauled, Brunhild.
Why hit it when you could not hit it?
Exactly. I don't know if I made it clear, but these guys were invisible and just materialized.
I assume that's what all the monsters did.
There's just like an invisible hand that comes down and puts them in place as we come along.
Almost like figurines
How ominous.
or tokens.
Durgar number 3 is going to attempt to hit you with its war pick. Brunhild. And this time he misses you, swinging wide with his war pick. Nicholas, it is your turn. All of your friends are gone. You are by yourself. You were in the midst of casting a spell and everyone scattered. Did Nicholas fall asleep?
No. Nicholas is concentrating.
He's trying to decide what he's doing.
He's concentrating?
I'm deciding whether I want to break my concentration or not.
Takes 10
no,
minutes to cast a spell.
I'll break my my friends need me. Now I'll move there and then use my bonus action to. There. A creature.
Okay. You see a giant dwarf swinging his pickaxe at your friends.
Is it Durgar number 4?
Nope, it's Durgar number 2.
Oh no. I'm going to. Magic missile him. Use my wand
Okay.
and use 2 more charges.
Okay.
I don't have 2 charges. I'm going to.
Remember, the word of the day is magic missile, everyone. So, your magic missile in quick succession, arcs of light and energy hit this creature in the side of his head, and 3/4 of his head explode and spray chunks of matter all over. And he collapses to the ground, quite dead. Nicholas is dropping fools left and right tonight, guys.
Hey.
Siegfried screams in pain as he's hit. Stop hurting me! And he's going to cast Thunderwave as a 2nd level spell, adding a D8.
Okay, Brunhild saved.
Everyone saves, I see.
Oh wow, everyone did save. So they're not moved, but they still get hit with the damage. So there's just these blast of air, gust of air, and everyone is rocked.
Those roll. So they'd all take an even 5.
What's that one from?
Because I cast it as level 1.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say when you do that, you can just drag your damage to the dice thing, right click, and add another die to do it as 2nd level damage.
I can't really right click on the laptop.
Oh, okay, sorry. All right, well I will add an extra point of damage to everyone who is hit.
And then as a bonus action,
Of course, now I have to figure out who all it was. Let's see, that was 1, 3, and 4.
as a bonus action, I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Samael.
Okay.
So next time you roll the hit, you can use it as a d6 to make sure it hits.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Is that the end of your turn? Zara, it's your turn.
Alright. Again, I'm seeing people that get little hurt.
Yeah, at the moment, you don't see any enemies. You just saw that big dwarf fall and die.
Alright.
And you saw a blast of air just arc out from everywhere.
I'm going to move up about 15.
Okay. That'll put you right next to Siegfried.
Who's bleeding out onto the ground. Right?
Alright, then I'm going to. I am going to reach out
And touch someone.
and yes, and cast healing, no, cure wounds on Siggy.
Okay.
Too
Oh,
bad.
thank you. I feel a bit better.
And I'm guessing I see giant Mr. Dwarf guy number 4.
Oh yeah. He is in your face.
I'm actually going. Can I back?
Can you what?
I can back.
Sorry, you're cutting out there.
Can I back up?
Sure. If you'd like to take an opportunity attack, totally.
Alright, never mind.
No, I'm
just going to.
I'm just kidding. It's still it's still within reach of you, even if you back up.
Okay. I'm still gonna back up.
Okay.
I'm just going to attack with my spiritual whip.
Go for it. That unfortunately is a miss. Your energy weapon whiffs as it swipes at the creature's arm.
Can I not back up anymore?
You want to go back downstairs?
Yeah.
Okay. You'll take an opportunity attack.
Nope, I'll stay right there.
Okay.
That's the end of my turn.
Alright. Samael, it is your turn.
Okay, I'm gonna use my vow of enmity against Gorath. That will give me advantage in all attacks against them.
That is definitely a hit.
Alright, and I win my turn.
Okay. Durgar number 1 is going to attempt to hit you again with its war pick, Siegfried. And that is a critical hit.
There you go, Jeremy.
I know, right at the end of the night. So, double hand
No,
chops
see, it's
catches you right in your clavicle, sinks down several inches. And then he laughs. And Zito, it's your turn. I think this session's going to be called Tomb Raiders.
Yeah.
Can I see any of the door guard from the bottom of the steps?
Unfortunately, no. From where you're standing, you see no one at the bottom of the steps. You would have to step up essentially right next to Zara in order to see this guy who's hanging back.
Alright.
Could always go stand next to Zara.
And debating if I want to do that or not. Or I think I'll go up the stairs next to Zara.
Okay. Alright, there you go.
Not that side of Zara.
Zito, as you rush up, you see a enlarged dwarf who is attempting to attack your friends. You see another dwarf who is attempting to strike down Siegfried.
I am Am I able to reach the one next to Siegfried
With what?
with a touch attack?
With a touch attack, it is currently raised up above you, so you cannot reach him.
Alright, then I will cast Firebolt at the giant door.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is a miss. Your fire attack arcs out like a softball and splats on the ground next to him, and then snuffs out.
Well, I tried.
Exactly, you tried. Okay, Durgar number 4 turns around, turns his attention to Zara Highhill with his enlarged warpick, attempts to overhand chop Zara with it. Zara, you just watch as this thing reaches back and strikes you, and you take, as this warpick blade the size of your torso strikes you, you take 13 damage as it crashes into your armor. On Gorath's turn, he's looking really rough. He wipes his chin, blood dribbling down, and he says, "We will have that stone. We know you have it." And attempts once again to strike at Samael with his warpick. And misses. Going wide, nearly toppling over. And Zara, it is your turn. You just got rocked by a giant warpick.
Alright, I'm going to grab out a potion of healing and down it really quickly.
And we are coming up on time here, guys, so this will be the last round.
And with my bonus action, I'm going to attack. Same Mr.
Well, you used your bonus action to drink the potion.
Oh, I thought I used my action.
No, that's your bonus action.
Alright. Can I reach him from here?
But I will say, for the intents and purposes, that in this particular case, since you want to use your bonus action to attack, I would say you could use your action.
Okay, fair enough.
But yes, ordinarily you can use your bonus or action to drink a potion. And that is a hit. You strike at the enlarged Durgard. He winces in pain. Says, "I'll get you!"
Nice. Well...
Byron, it is your turn. You watch as your friends are all huddled up on the stairs just ahead of you.
The wall behind Zito. And move across while I'm still in my stealth.
Okay, so you want to move up there?
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check. Are you on the map? You said you wanted to be next to Zito, right up on the edge there?
Over here.
Alright.
Is it double move to get up that thing? So that'd be 30 would put me here.
Okay.
And then I'll target the if it lets me. And does he see me?
It does not see you. Unfortunately, that is a miss.
A sec.
That is a hit.
Nick, you're up.
Nicholas, it's your turn.
Question for you. How do you make a? How do you know what is 30 feet?
How do you know what is 30 feet?
Yeah.
Each block is 5 feet.
No, like a circle. How do I?
How do you make a circle that's 30 feet?
Yeah. Hold on. I think it's right.
You draw a circle.
Right click, use pointer.
Oh, there we go. So the whole thing.
So you're lighting up this entire interior of this thing?
I was thinking about it.
Are you dropping a fireball? What the hell's going on?
I was definitely thinking about it.
Yeah, well, guys, the campaign ended.
I'm an evocation wizard. I can make everybody save and take no damage.
Oh, I
Will
know.
choose.
I'm just messing with you.
But I'm trying to equal to 1 plus a spell's level, so it's a third. I assume it's a third level. So 4. There's 5 people. I take it I can't see in there.
You can't see anyone.
Yeah, I was just gonna chuck it up there for fun, but
What are you chucking up there? A
I was gonna
fireball?
yeah, but I can't do it.
Go ahead and do it. Let's see what happens. Who's
One person.
who's really attached to their character?
I would have to choose one person and not save, and that's not smart. So.
Well, you have to see us too.
Yeah, you have to see it. So
oh, you have to see it?
Yeah, so
you have to see who you're going to save.
Right now, you can only save Zara, Zito, Siegfried, and Brunhild.
Bye, Byron. No, I'm good. I will not do that because I cannot. I cannot save. I thought about it. I was trying to figure it out. And if I move up there, I can't really go. Can I get past Zara and Zito?
Sure. You want to be in the room with them? You can roll.
5
You can roll. You can roll stealth.
I can what?
I said you can roll stealth and stealthily get in there.
Okay.
I'd say you're pretty stealth. Question is, where do you want to go?
I can't. Put me on the side. Put me on.
You want the opposite side of Byron?
No, south of Byron in that corner. South of Byron in that corner.
Okay, so like right on top of the coffin, right next to him.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to be next to the giant door.
No, I don't want to be next to the giant door. Be right there. That's where I want to go. I'll sneak it.
Okay.
Was that your dash?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So I bonus.
That was your bonus action. Yep.
As my bonus action, and then I'm going to
throw a fireball.
It's very tempting. Don't get me wrong. It's very tempting.
You can see everybody but me.
Yeah, it would be everybody but him because you can't see him.
I'd move the circle over here.
Yeah, but you don't know he's there.
Yeah, you don't know what corner I'm in.
You don't know. You have no idea where he is.
You hit semi on everybody with the fireball, you won't survive this night.
This is already the second time Brunhild's been hit by an elf that was supposed to be on her.
Why do we have 2 30 radius circles out?
Sorry, I didn't realize I could move it. One.
Nick's trying to see everything in 3D. Give him a second.
I just imagine in my head Nicholas is like he's got his fingers on the necklace. He's messing with the bead. He's like, should I do it?
All right. So I'm gonna have to chuck it in the corner.
Yeah.
Which corner? Because you don't know where I'm at.
You don't know where he's at. Where are you chucking it?
Byron.
Byron, look out!
I'm gonna use the ring. Can I use the ring? Like, can I use the ring and be like, Byron, where you at?
I mean, I can always, you know.
I would say that no. Unfortunately, you don't know where Byron is. You can. I'll tell you what. You can yell a warning to him and give him advantage on his saving throw.
And Zara can always, you know, help it out.
He ain't worried about you, Zara. He's just trying to protect Byron.
Yeah, cause I mean.
Well, he can make everyone immune except for one person.
I would chuck it right there, against the wall in this corner.
Okay.
Right there.
Well, Jeremy, I'm actually over in that corner. Didn't I tell you that?
Yeah, you are. Yeah, he's in that corner.
This stealthy character is that.
It doesn't matter.
I won't do it. I won't do it.
Do it. Do it.
I
Do
don't
it.
like
Do
it.
it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
I'm gonna straight up kill his character.
Nick, you're a bitch if you don't hit him with that fireball at this point.
Hey, I'm gonna yell, Byron, where you at? And hold my action.
Just yell, Byron, look out.
Byron, look out.
Just
and
yell Byron duck or whatever. It doesn't matter.
He'll get advantage on his saving throw.
It's not like you hit him with the keeper.
Stop being a
He'll come back.
Stop being a wimp.
Maybe.
You guys
But
do
I'm
have.
not-
You guys do have a revivify scroll.
But I don't want to be that guy, though. You know, like I don't think Nick would throw it unless he knew exactly where everybody was, because I can save everybody.
All right, I changed
Give
my
it
mind.
somehow, I'll throw it.
I changed my mind. The name of this episode
Throw it.
is Nicholas throws a fireball.
Just throw it, Nick. Just throw it. Just get it done.
Throw it.
I'm gonna hold my action and Byron.
Nope. Now or never.
No, it's now or never.
Now or never.
This is the last round, and then we're gonna break for the night.
Heads up, Byron! And I'm gonna chuck it against the wall, right here where I put the marker on.
Okay.
We're over there.
You really in that corner?
You don't know where I'm at. You can't throw it into the corner I'm not at when you don't know where I'm at. It makes no sense.
Jeremy, roll a 1d2 and see if Byron's in that corner.
It doesn't matter. Just throw it, and I'll roll my saving throw. That's the way it should be.
Do it. Do it.
At advantage, right?
He has advantage. Correct.
All right. So everybody in the room saves except the bad guys.
Okay.
I can save 4.
Okay, there's 2, 4, 6 of you in the blast. So there's 7-player character, including you. So which 4 are you going to choose to save?
Are you going to save yourself as well, Nicholas? So technically, 2 of your friends will be hit.
Okay, 1, 2. Nah, this room's too dangerous to throw it in. I didn't realize.
Nope. No metagaming.
It's already gone. This is how you learn how the fireball works.
There's no. But I mean, I'm looking around. There's no good spot to throw it in without killing us all.
So you can throw a fireball, and you can say, "Well, I'm going to exempt those 4 right next to the fireball," and then it'd be what Sam and I and you that get nuked with the rest of the fallout.
That would be fine.
Yeah, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. I'm going to hold my action.
No, you've already thrown it.
Yep.
You already threw it. The bead.
Can't keep going back on your action.
The
Well,
bead,
I mean, I'm still deciding.
The bead has been. If you don't roll these saves, I'm rolling them for you.
Is it dex save?
Yep, they're dexterity saves.
Oh, hold on. You gotta reload the map. The map crashed on me.
No, it didn't. I can see that you still have the map loaded. Alright, hold on.
No, I saved Samael. Hold on. Alright, hold on. I saved Samael, Brunhild, Zara, Siegfried.
Alright, so
Where do I? But where do I chuck it? Which corner do I? I mean,
You just chucked it. Didn't
Just
matter
chuck it
which
right in the
corner.
middle.
You chucked it right
no,
in
no,
the
no.
middle.
But I'm saying like that's the whole point of the 30-foot radius. I was choosing where I wanted to throw it at.
I mean, if you
It's
didn't-
off of the center, so it's centered wherever you throw it in the room.
Yeah.
Yeah, not outside the room.
This is not outside the room, Derek. You have circles inside and outside of the room.
So no matter what, where you throw it, everyone in the room's hit.
Okay. So you chuck it at, hey, the big guy over there. Okay, boom. All right, look. Everyone saves.
And how does your save work, by the way? Because didn't you say we had to roll to be saved from?
No, you automatically save.
Yeah, you
I
don't
choose
have to, you
four
don't
people who automatically save. So you automatically save. You don't take no. I can literally drop it on Samael and he takes no damage.
They automatically save or they take no damage?
No, like they automatically save and take no damage.
Okay.
All right.
I'll
Let's
chuck it right
see.
there.
Okay.
Clicker button, or we just roll.
All right. So it looks like you're getting hit, Nicholas.
Yeah. Alright, myself.
This is how you find out
So
how fireballs work.
So who are you excluding? Are you excluding Zara, Zito, Siegfried, Brunhild, or Samael?
Samael.
Or are you excluding your friends and taking the damage yourself?
I will excuse my friend to take the damage myself.
Okay.
Aww.
So nice.
So,
I'll tell you what. I'll give you inspiration, Derek. You have inspiration on your dexterity save. So both. So
This
roll
is Nick.
This is Nick killing himself and to help the party.
When he sees.
Wait, he can only exclude 4 people. Isn't everyone up here though? So isn't that like
yes,
7
everyone's going to get
together?
hit.
Not everybody.
Would you
Well,
roll
doesn't
it
that mean
for
in
the
one
for the love of all that's holy? Roll it.
I don't have the spell, so I gotta add the spell to my. I don't have the spell.
Did you do
Fireball,
Name-
is it? Does it
Yeah.
have variable dice on it too?
Name correction. Nicholas learns how to throw a fireball. Learns to throw a fireball.
Jeremy, will you roll?
Will I what?
Roll, because I don't have the module loaded, so I have to pull them.
I'll nuke everybody.
All right, hold on. hold on. Let me do this for you. Hold on. Let's see.
Well, I'm
going in your
I'm
inventory.
still caught up that 3 other people should be taking damage.
Let's see. Where the heck is it?
Well, no, Byron's out of the blast because I chucked it over in the corner.
No, the 30-foot covers everything.
Do you even?
Sorry.
That means 2
Everybody's
other
involved.
people. If you exclude yourself, there's 7 of us. That's still 2 other people that would have to take the hit.
Do
The
you
total
even,
of 3 people. So myself, Nick, and one more person is what I think.
Derek? It's not even in your inventory. Where is it? How are you throwing this? It's not in your inventory.
Oh, it's in my inventory,
Oh,
but he has it.
Oh yeah,
he
she gave
has
it to me.
Okay. Let me just do this. All right. Let me go.
That
into,
was agreed upon.
let me go into
2
Zara's
seconds.
inventory. Let's see.
Because remember, she
I-
handed it to me, and I took it and
Yeah.
hid it and put it in my bag.
Nick, if you also don't exclude Samael, he still has inspiration.
Somebody would have rolled.
But the whole point of the fireball is to aim it. That's why I was aiming it in the corner. So it
yeah,
wouldn't
but
hit everyone.
you still have to pick one person that isn't saved by it.
So who's...
All right. I'm rolling a flat. I'm just gonna roll a flat dexterity save for one of the Durgar, and they will all take the damage.
Well, I can do it. Building.
Because they all have the same stats. Okay, so all of the Durgar fail, and Derek, roll your dexterity save with advantage. So you'll take half of the damage.
Probably 14.
What's that, like 8 million d6 or something?
8d6.
8d6, right? Okay. Alright, let's see what happens to Derek.
I rolled 18.
You rolled an 18? Okay, so you're taking half.
And who's...
Alright, so...
For Nick to decide for 30 minutes.
Okay, so... all of the Duragar go up in a puff of smoke, and Byron and Nicholas take 11 fire damage.
And who's the third?
Nick, you have to take a third.
I
Another person's
miscounted,
taking-
so...
You miscounted. Who's the third?
It's either 11 or 22 damage someone's about to take.
MIL. It won't happen again, I promise.
You're good. Just do it.
So you take 22?
Alright.
Well, he has. Well, he rolled. Well, he.
He did a 1.
Oh.
Okay. So, in a fiery blast, Nicholas runs into the room, snatches one of the beads off of the necklace, and throws it on the ground like one of those little poppets. And in a fiery blast, every single one of the Duragar turned to ash. And Samael is knocked on his ass, smoking, smoldering within his armor. His armor sort of like has this reddish hue, like it's been heated up. And he's staring bloody murder at Nicholas. And that's where we're going to end the session for tonight.
What a wacky adventure!
You know, I've got the perfect response to that, but I'm wait till next.
So worry about it all next week.
Hardcore.
And he can't see me, correct?
7 minus 4 equals 3.